gentlemen, welcome to episode 133 of Petey's Awesome Guest Panel. Now, before we introduce tonight's iconic, legendary name, I want to introduce tonight's co-host for this evening, all Power Ranger enthusiasts. First off, my buddy, the guy that is the Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson, and that is Mr. Christopher Petey.
Hey, yo.
I love when you say that, Chris. Every time. Now, to introduce tonight's co-host, another co-host we have from jolly old England, and my good buddy, Mr. Kwame Jacobs.
Yo.
Always good to have you, Kwam.
Of course, yeah.
And finally, our co-host for this evening, another dear friend of mine and Power Ranger enthusiast, and one hell of a prop designer, and that is the one and only Mr. Dan Romano.
Hey, Pete, glad to be here.
Good to have you back, man. Now, to introduce tonight's co-host for this evening, let me just say that I've been a fan of this man's work for years. I mean, this is a really well-decorated actor, singer, you name it. This man has been in many projects such as Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, Fat Albert, you name it. My guest at this time is the legendary, the iconic Joel himself, Mr. Keith Robinson. Keith, welcome.
What's up?
How are you today, sir?
Good. How you guys doing, man?
Fantastical.
Good.
How are you doing?
Good, man.
We're gonna dive right into the questions, Mr. Robinson. And one of the first questions I have for you, and this could be a typical cliche question, is how and or when did you get your first big break and or start into acting as a whole? Take us there.
It was Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. I mean, Power Rangers was my very first audition ever as an actor, believe it or not.
Very cool. And
yeah.
Chris was supposed to ask this question, but he obviously left the room, so I will ask it in his place, though, and that is memories of your audition for Mighty Morphin. Memories of your audition for Power Rangers Rescue. Sorry about that. Memories of your audition for that and how you landed the role as Joel.
Well, I remember I went in. I didn't really have any idea what I was doing, to be honest with you, so I was pretty raw. I went in. I had a sense of humor about it. I wasn't wrapped too tight about it because it was kind of my first time doing it, which actually played in my favor. I didn't have a headshot, a picture, anything. I just went in there because I went to an acting class a few weeks prior, and the teacher thought that I had a kind of a natural instinct for acting and suggested I should go try out for the role. And I was like, what the heck? Might as well. And like I said, I didn't have a headshot, but they liked my energy. They liked how carefree I was and my sense of humor. And they kept calling me back and eventually asked me to bring in a headshot. So I got a disposable camera, took some pictures, and went back in. And then they told me I needed to, they wanted me to kind of lean out a little bit to be able to fit into the suit. And, after like 5 callbacks, I ended up getting the job.
That's so cool.
Cool stuff. Yeah. Kwame, your question, sir.
All right. Memories of doing the crossover special with the Lost Galaxy Rangers.
Yeah, a lot of fun. That was our first time actually meeting them. I remember it was extremely hot, but they had really good energy as well. And we were both happy to see each other and really kind of, collaborate, because you always hear about the Rangers prior to your class of Rangers coming in. The comparisons come. So to finally get a chance to kind of, stand something up and do it together was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Would you say that would be in your top 3 favorite episodes of Lightspeed, or you had other ones?
I would say, top 3 would probably be the 3rd, to be honest with you. Maybe actually that might be the 4th of my favorite episodes. Yeah.
Good stuff. And you know what I liked about Lightspeed Rescue is like it follows more than one story. Like there's a storyline, of course, between Joel and the Doctor with Joel trying to get with the Doctor, which doesn't happen until like literally the last episode. And you find out later in the Time Force sequel, in the Time Force crossover, that they did get together.
Right. Exactly. me and Miss Fairweather.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Oh, Chris is back.
I know. And Chris,
Yeah, what the hell happened?
No, I don't know what happened. But you know what? Because you didn't get to ask the question, you have one free question you can ask. So go ahead.
Shit, I gotta pull them up first.
No worries, man. In the meantime, Dan will ask his question while you pull yours up.
Okay.
For quick comment, Keith, I gotta tell you this. Joel was my favorite character of Lightspeed, so just throwing that
Okay.
out there, I related to him the most. So
Awesome.
just the whole thing with you, Miss Farrell, and just how it took near death for her to finally realize, hey, I should go
Yeah.
out with this guy. He's good. So,
Yeah.
but you're just again one of my favorite characters. I think Lightspeed is in my top 3 favorite seasons, by the way, too. Top
Okay,
3. I
cool.
love it that much. But and I love your other film work in like Dreamgirls and stuff like it's really cool. And actually, one
Thank you.
quick thing, I got a DJ friend I want to hook you up with. I'm wearing his shirt now, self-made.
Oh, nice.
He's a good dude because I know you do music too, so I'll hook you guys up
Yeah.
after. But
Okay.
I'll send you his Instagram. But my question,
Awesome.
really quick, is any fun memories behind the scenes and stuff like that you can share?
Lightspeed Rescue?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was all
Yeah.
fun. I mean, we were like a family. You work really hard. We shoot after you shoot 50-something episodes over a year, you become family. So behind the scenes is always a lot of fun. It was hard work. I mean, the season finale was really, really hard. We had to stay up all night, and that's really us swimming in the water. It was freezing. So, I think kind of adversity brings people together. So, Power Rangers
Yeah.
is probably the most physical job that I've ever worked. I've yet to work a job that was consistently as hard as that one.
Wow. And I have to ask you too, Keith, because I'm just curious to know, because Power Rangers is a huge production company, and I gotta ask you this question because I asked all the Power Ranger stars this, and whenever I'm not on a almost military-like diet, which is where I don't eat until dinner time, I am an absolute foodie. And where I'm getting with this is, I was just curious to know what the catering scene was like during Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue, and did you have a particular favorite meal in catering?
Catering, wow, you're getting specific. It's been a while. The food, all the food was pretty good. We had a chef that came in. I have a bit of a sweet tooth, so I had to kind of control myself from eating all the fruit snacks at Crafty and Twizzlers because I'm a Twizzlers hound. But they kept us well fed and hydrated because it was a physical job. So we had really good chefs and good cooks there. So I love them. And when it was Fridays, it would be usually some type of seafood, a shrimp or a lobster tail and steak. So that was always something to look forward to. But after you got experience, you realize that you don't want to go in a food coma for the second half of the day when you're having to run around with a full stomach. So you kind of had to, get used to the discipline of it. But just having free food around all the time doesn't mean you should eat all of it.
Huh, I see. Chris, did you find your question?
All right. So how's your experience as a Power Ranger impacted your life and career?
Well, I mean, just like now, I mean, it's the job that continues to keep on giving. With the fans love this so much. I mean, it's a legendary show. It's been 25, 26 years almost since I've done it, and I'm still talking about it. So it's just really it started my whole acting career, and it's the one job that still is the most polarizing and keeps people the most interested to this day. So I guess in a big way, it kind of really kind of directed my whole career.
Wow. And I got to ask you too, as an actor though, because you're a well-seasoned veteran actor and singer though, and I ask this to all actors like that come on my show, and this is what I call the raw emotion question. I'm going to put you in a scenario right now, and I want to get your opinion on this. If you were to do a scene with a co-star, and this co-star, I mean, in the scene requires you to get into a heated argument with your co-star, and your co-star comes up to you and says, "Hey, I think I have an idea where we can enhance the scene in which we can not only tell a story but make it believable to the audience watching at home, in which you lambast me so hard that you can make me cry on point in frustration." If you were approached with this type of method, like suggested method, how would you react to this method, and what would you tell to that said co-star?
Well, it's not really a question. I mean, it's really about the material and what it makes you feel. So you don't focus on crying on point. You focus on telling the story.
Right.
And usually, if you can get with the character and get with the emotions of the story, then that comes naturally, and it looks like an honest performance as opposed to timing when you're going to cry or your co-star telling you what they're going to do. I think you guys just discuss the material, discuss both of you guys' objectives in the scene and how you want to tell the story, and everything else falls into place kind of organically.
Oh, I understand. We have our final questions and comments before we wrap up, of course. And
Okay.
we're gonna start right now. So Dan, your final comments and or questions to Mr. Robinson. Go.
Keith, this is again, thanks for coming. Always love seeing you. I seen it I saw it at the past PMC.
Okay.
But my question is, it's you brought up Fate of Lightspeed Rescue, and I think that's one of my favorite finales of all time. But I do, like, it's fortuitous we just so happen to be doing this on 9/11. My question is, I want to show you a quick scene, and I'm curious, do you think there was some predictive programming in Lightspeed? I mean, I'm going to show you the scene right here. It's not long, but like, was there any? Just, I'm a conspiracy. Let's put it this way: I'm a conspiracy analyst, so I just
Okay.
have. I'd love your opinion on this and see what you think. Here, really quick. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I know what they're gonna do.
Now that scene aired November of 2000. So I'm curious, like, was there any CIA or anyone come in on set? Like, again, you don't. If you can't answer it, that's fine. But do
Not
you
not
think?
at all. Not at all. I mean, because this is a kid show, so it's not like you're affecting an audience that's adults who are actually out here.
It doesn't know that's
And
Bugs-
that footage is Japanese footage. All that footage you see there of the monsters and stuff, we use the same Japanese footage as the Japanese version of Power Rangers. So that wasn't
yeah, I
even
was gonna
shot.
say.
I
That
can tell the
wasn't even shot in the
differences.
States.
That
I
was okay. That was American footage though, where the mobile armored vehicle hitting the Omega Megazord. That was all American footage.
Yeah, I don't think Power Rangers is woven deep enough for the CIA. Nice try though, but nah.
I'm just okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say as much as the Simpsons, anyways.
Thank you
Yeah, nice
thank you
try.
though, Pete. I figured I'd ask, so thank you. Thank you for being honest, and that's cool. Thank you. Just my
Yeah.
again, I'm a conspiracy analyst. I just think that
You,
way.
indeed you are. Indeed you
Yes.
are.
Thank you though, Keith.
You're welcome, buddy.
Kwame, final comments and or questions to Mr. Robinson.
Is there any questions you want to ask us, Keith?
No, I think you guys. So what do you got? Do you guys do this once a week, once a month, or?
Whenever we get names,
Yeah.
like we got you,
Okay.
we have Sasha,
Yeah.
Craig tomorrow. Like we actually were gonna
Okay.
have you and Sasha tonight, but Sasha wasn't able to do tonight, so I'm gonna
Okay.
be her tomorrow. I got another show on Saturday. It really depends on when I could get guest stars, really.
Yeah, just
Gotcha.
whenever they're available, you know?
I understand. Totally understand.
And like I said, like this is just one interview, but like I said, Mr. Robinson, hopefully one day, like I can have you on again because this is touch up on stuff we didn't cover on this one, like for a few
Yeah, of course, for sure.
absolutely. And Kwame, did you have anything else you wanted to say, or was that it?
Oh yeah, before I forget, yeah, I might as well say it before we forget. How does it feel to be a how
Say
does
it.
it feel to be a legend?
It doesn't really faze me like that. I mean, people say that to me. It actually sounds kind of weird. I mean, people calling me a legend. I think it's flattering, but I don't really wallow in it too much. I mean, I'm always about the next job, what's ahead of me. So maybe when I'm an old man, they play my highlights back, then it'll be easier to believe. But right now, it's just I just kind of keep it moving, and I appreciate that people are liking the work that I've been able to put out there.
Yeah, I can respect that, man. I mean, you are one of my favorite Green Rangers. Personally, you are.
Oh yeah.
Likewise.
Thank you, guys.
Chris,
Yeah, no problem.
your final comment or question for Mr. Robinson?
At this point, I always like to ask this of anyone who used to work on Power Rangers. And do you think that there's any possibility that they might do a spin-off that's more oriented to the older fans? Like, say, more of an analog towards Super Sentai?
I don't see it happening unless there's a demand in the audience. If there's a demand in the marketplace, then surely something they'll figure it out. But I mean, I think really if you guys, the fans, were to collectively make a consistent push for it, it would be more likely. But I mean, the show's been on for 33 years. It's it's the most storied children's show ever. So I don't know if there's anything really for them to see as far as aside from making more money. I think it has to be pushed. Yeah, that's a good thing. It's a good objective, but I think it'd have to be a push for the fans if they wanted to see that. I mean, anything is possible, but if I were to say right off, I would say probably not. But you know, I'm just one of the Rangers, so anything can happen.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Pete are kind of like at odds about this. He thinks that the franchise should just go ahead and fade into the sunset.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, I'm a firm believer that the end is not the end.
Well, I like your way of thinking, but I think the collective proverbial thought is that, you know, it's kind of winding down because, you know, they've been uber successful. I mean, it's unheard of for a show to be on TV this long. So, you know, we'll see.
Well, Simpsons and Gunsmoke.
Yep. And MASH, right?
MASH too.
I don't think MASH was on that long. Maybe 5 seasons?
Yeah, MASH, I've heard of
Oh,
it.
MASH only on 5 seasons? Okay. Seemed like it was on longer. Okay.
I could be wrong.
Well,
Don't
yeah,
quote me on
we'll
that, though.
Keep putting it out there. Maybe it'll happen.
Yeah. I have one final comment, one final question, but before I do, I have a rhetorical question. You don't have to answer this too, but you've been on you are a major star and you've been on Fox. The one thing that boggles my mind is how in the world were you never on The Simpsons?
I don't know. I mean, as a voice?
Like as a voice, because you're so decorated, like you're a singer, you've done so many projects, and you were on Fox 5, like doing Power Rangers. That's why I'm shocked you were never on Simpsons.
Yeah, that never really. That's not really how it works in Hollywood. As far as I mean, they have certain voices they would use as far as for The Simpsons. I mean, there's been a lot of actors that have walked across that 20th Century Fox lot that So unless there was a role that lended itself for me to audition or something like that, then it's kind of a luck of the draw thing. I mean, Hollywood is a wild animal, so what you think would be logical is not always logical.
I understand. So my final question before I get to my comment is, what's next for Keith Robinson? Now, Mr. Robinson, this is the part of my show where it's an open forum. You can talk about anything, promote, hype, say anything you want. I am passing the proverbial microphone to you. The floor is yours, Mr. Robinson.
Yeah, I have a new song out called "We Got Something," which is out right now at radio, doing well. I'm putting out a brand new music project. I'm trying to get it out this fall. It's called Love Episodic 2, a follow-up to my first album that I released a few years ago. I finished a show called Conspirators, which will be on AMC, right down your alley. Which will be out at the top of the year, sometime next year. I don't have a release date for that. And then I'm about to start a new movie next month that I'm getting ready for. So I'm staying busy.
Awesome. And I'm going to end with a final comment too, sir. Let me just say thank you for not only an amazing interview. I hope to have you back in the future for part 2 because you're just a wonderful man. And I've been a fan of your work for years. Having you on, it's just awesome. And I got to thank you again for those memories you gave me. It's unfortunate that you don't have the powers of like Joel's, but you have this incredible gift, sir. You have this incredible gift that you could take a 30-something-year-old fan like moi and bring him way down here and make him feel like a 10-year-old again watching Power Rangers Lightspeed. That's an incredible gift you have, sir.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you guys.
Anytime. I'm going to send you I'm going to send you a copy of this link when it's all edited and done. And we're going to conclude with the following. I waited since I was 10 to do this to you, sir. And that is, thank you, Keith. Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you, Keith. Thank you, Keith. Thank you so much, sir. You have an awesome night. And I can't wait to have you in the future. Have a blessed night.
Peace.
Take care.